so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
And good evening, race fans, and welcome to ISM Raceway once again here for the guys under NASCAR rules for sim racing. It's championship night, and this time it is the well, I don't even know, the Xfinity car. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Xfinity cars. It's so hard keeping up with their names nowadays. Boy, seems like NASCAR is changing it just about every season, but it is, in fact, the Xfinity cars that are out on track, and we've got 4 drivers looking to try and win that championship here on this 1 mile little oval. It's kind of an odd oval, to be sure, but an oval nonetheless. 100 laps, and right now the weather outside is gorgeous. A 77-degree day with the track temperature that's sitting at 89. My name is Chris, and I'll be your host tonight, along with my good friend Rick Hammond Jr. Rick, how are you tonight, brother?
Hey man, we're still here in the desert. Like you said, beautiful. The sun's out, man. The track's warming up a little bit. I'm ready, man. And yeah, I mean, these are definitely the Busch cars. That's all I'm saying.
Busch, Xfinity, like I said, it's
nationwide.
Nationwide, however you want to say it, it's what they are. And like I said, we do have 4 drivers that are getting ready to try out for this championship. Do apologize, a little bit of a late start on our end. Having trouble finding the server here tonight, so won't be able to get words in with our top 4, but we can tell you who they are. It's Jordan Tansel, it's Chris Gilbert, Brad Lane, and Mr. Packard. That's Reggie Packard in the number 29. Those are our 4 drivers that we're going to keep an eye on. That's why they're highlighted in red over to the left-hand side of your screen, Rick. And we've got 50 seconds left to practice here before we go to qualifying, single car qualifying. And I believe they are going to set it up like they did the other night. Top 4 up front, everybody else out back.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the top 4 guys that are running for that championship, Chris, might put down a lap there just to get up towards the front there, and everybody else will fall down. Now, it was a great race there on Tuesday where Maiden took the championship and dominated the field. So, I mean, Tansel was doing really good in that race also, Chris. So we'll see what he does here tonight. So far, looking pretty fast. He is on top of the speed charts right now. So looking good for him here in the desert for round number 2 here. Now, again, this is the B-class Xfinity cars. It's the championship night here. 100 laps from ISM.
100 laps should go by pretty quickly. Again, a 1-mile track here at ISM or Phoenix, or, you know, like this car, Rick, this track has changed names.
But you know what I love about it, Chris, is when ISM changed the name, you decided to just call it Phoenix, but now you've been calling it ISM pretty steadily, so I'm proud of you.
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I guess I'm just getting used to it.
That's okay. I think they're changing the name again for next year. We'll get to play with that again.
Oh, goody. All right. Well, looks like we have one driver getting ready to come out on track. Tuesday night, he was the driver of the Gray Ghost. Tonight, it's the AC Delco number 36. It's Jordan Tansel, one of those drivers vying for the championship here tonight. And just as I'm saying that, a couple of drivers look like they might tiptoe out on track as well, including Brad Lane and his number 8. It's 1 lap to get yourself up to speed, then the clock goes live to see what kind of qualifying times you can pick up here. Again, a 1-mile track, the configuration different from pretty much every other track out there.
That's one thing I love about Phoenix Raceway, Chris, is because, you know, they have the open dog leg here tonight. So just like Tuesday night, we're going to be seeing drivers go below that yellow line in a couple of turns, and it's a wide track, so it usually puts on good racing. Now, the guys on Tuesday night had an outstanding race, just a couple of cautions. So I'm sure the B guys are going to be trying to beat that here tonight to have less cautions, of course, and figure it out. But right now during practice, I've been seeing a lot of these guys slipping and sliding around here. Now, of course, we talked about that track temperature, 89, 90 degrees. So definitely coming into play so far right now. Tansel is on the pole with a 27.84. Right behind him, it is Brad Lane with a 28.13.
And Gilbert crosses the line, able to bump Brad Lane down by 0.05 of a second. So Chris Gilbert right now sitting in the 2nd position. Nick Snyder out there in his number 9 car. It says 9 on the car. It's going to be 7 on our scoring and timing here tonight. Oh, Eric Shear got out there. I didn't even see him. He got out there and ran a little bit slower than the other guys. Probably just trying to get a field, not really actually trying to qualify, as he is not one of the drivers vying for a spot out there tonight. How about this? The Old Spice Office Depot machine of Ryan Peplinski. Peplinski driving the 14 here tonight. A little bit of a throwback scheme there, Rick.
A little bit, yeah. I like it.
Peplinski heading into the corner. The closest track on the circuit to Phoenix is it's got to be a little bit like Pocono. Each corner just a little bit different than the other. Very similar to what Pocono does. Distance around the track, of course, is the big difference.
Of course, we talked about it a little bit, Chris. So 100 laps here tonight. We will be getting a stage break at lap 35. So once the drivers cross that start finish line at to begin lap 35, the caution flag will come out, give these guys a chance to take a drink and get reorganized out there on the track. So I love the way that they do that. That way nobody can really drive around, and there's going to be a chance for people to catch up there. So we'll be looking forward to that also.
Absolutely. A little bit of blink here out of Sean Taylor in his 304. That's Monster Energy drink car. Sean Taylor with a pretty quick time there. Good enough for 5th spot here so far. So we're still waiting for the 29 of Reggie Packard, one of those gentlemen running for the championship here tonight. Has not tippy-toed back out on the track yet. Sans practice. Now the question is, will he? So far, no.
I mean, it is nice to start up towards the front, Chris, but it's also nice to kind of hang back a little bit, and that way, if anything does happen towards the front of the pack, where guys are going to be racing pretty quickly to gain positions and get to where they're comfortable. So that might be smart. I mean, right now, Snyder, we saw Nick racing there Tuesday, right now sitting in 2nd position. So he seems to be pretty happy, and he was really racy on Tuesday. So I think he's looking to come out here and maybe steal this away from one of the championships and try to get a little win tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it is time to grid them up. And because they are going to change the things around just a little bit here, well, we're not going to be able to do our normal grid. So we'll wait for him to get on track, and then we'll do it that way. One thing we do know, Jordan Tansel in the number 36 going to be our pole sitter here tonight. And Rick, it's at least right now, they're loading in as they qualified. We're going to wait to see if they shuffle them around here at ISM as we get ready for the formation laps to start. We got the beautiful Chevy Silverado out there.
And I have that recorded. Thank you.
Well, it's beautiful, but obviously it's not moving, and that's because it blew an engine.
And it's because they're still going through a little driver's meeting, man. Oh, look at that beautiful number 9 back there. I like that. Let's see what
The Spree car.
Spree car, yeah.
Race Malport. And Reese is, well, he's colorful. There's no doubt about it. You're not going to miss that track out there or that car out there on track.
A little throwback to Adam Petty also.
Yes. Just waiting for a couple of other drivers to load in here. The pace truck being pretty calm about it all, Rick. He's just sitting there. Notice the brake lights aren't even on, and well, again, because he's not moving.
He's got the AC crank though. All the drivers are in their cars sweating right now, Chris. He's nice and cool. Happy. All right, formation lap is started, Chris. See, the truck does run.
Good gust of air from behind, pushing it out on track.
Wow.
I pick on Chevy, and it's really only because I don't really like Chevys, so. All right, Rick. Well, it doesn't look like very many changes are happening here. A little towards the rear of the field, maybe a little bit. Ace truck's coming off. We're looking to go to the green flag. So that's that. Usually we would call the grid out, but looks like that's not going to happen tonight as the green flag waves for the first time here tonight. ISM 100 championship night for the guys under NASCAR rules for sim racing, live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And we're working lap number 1. Jordan Tinsel leading the way. Nick Snyder to his outside. Snyder has to give it up just a little bit. He's going to try and fill a hole between first and third. He's able to do it. Chris Gilbert has to hang on in that third spot.
That's kind of what you want to do here, ISM, Chris, Phoenix, whatever you want to call it there. You want to kind of get single file as fast as you can. It's going to take a little bit for that outside lane to really rubber in. And, you know, the guys like Snyder, who is falling down to Gilbert right now. Gilbert in the 45, taking over second position. So far, the way that it looks, of course, the biggest mover right now is Reggie Packard. Of course, he is one of them championship drivers racing for the win tonight here. He is up 2 positions already, along with Eric Shear, who is sitting in 5th.
Eric Shearer the other night didn't have the run that he was looking for. Ended up getting into a small incident and not able to finish the race, and thus wiping out any chances for a championship. But like the true competitor he is, he's out here on the track running again tonight, this time with nothing on the line except for a little pride and maybe gonna try for a race win. However, that last time by Jordan Tinsel had his fastest lap of the race at 27.99, so sub 28 here for Jordan Tinsel.
And looking down at everybody else, Chris, they're in the 28s. So Tansel definitely starting to find a little bit of speed there. Chris Gilbert not far behind him there with a last lap of a 28.02. So he is getting there. But we'll see. I mean, we've seen Tansel. He was racing hot and heavy there Tuesday night in the A class race here with guys under NASCAR rules for sim racing. They did a pretty good job.
There's something special about championship night, isn't there? It's like there's a thrill in the air, an anticipation that's yet to have been met. And man, we've got a long way to go, but before we're going to figure that out. 94 laps, in fact, as they cross the start-finish line. Tansel leading the way through turns 1 and 2. Chris Gilbert running in second. Nicholas Snyder in third, with Brad Lane and Ryan Peplinski holding down the top 5 as we're working lap number 6.
Chris, we started with 14 drivers here tonight. It looks like 3 of them did not start here tonight. That's Zach Hollinger in the 77. He's going to be scored in 12th. Joe Marks in the 4 is going to be scored in 13th. And rounding out the field there, Thomas Haley in the 50 going to be scored as 14th. Those 3 drivers are not out on track. They're not even in their car. So they've already called it quits here. There's 11 people out here tonight trying to stop these guys from winning a championship and a race. But right now, someone's got to catch up to Tansel, and it doesn't look like too many people are trying to. Gilbert's there. It has about a half a second gap in between those 2 cars right now.
I think the right thing to do right now is kind of preserve the equipment. You're not going to win the race right now. You're not even going to win the championship right now. Right now, it's a time to kind of get around the track, learn your car, learn where it's strong, learn where it's a little bit off, and adapt to those conditions and try and find a little bit more speed. And I think that's what they're doing, Rick. Look, they're all content running kind of single file right now. There's good gaps between the top 5, and Jordan Tinsel leading the way. Even he has started to slow down a little bit, almost a full half a second slower than his best time already here on lap number 9.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. So far right now, it looks like Jordan Tinsel is leading this race. Chris Gilbert right behind him in second. Nick Snyder in third. Brad Lane in fourth, rounding out that top 5. Ryan Peplinski doing his thing. RJ Justice is in 6th. Reggie Packard moved all the way up to 7th position already. Eric Shear in 8th. 9th is Reese Melport. And Sean Taylor rounding out that top 10. And then you only have one other car out there, and that's waddling right now. Dawson doing his thing.
Yeah, so we said Tansel might be starting to slow down, but the interval starting to increase. 0.99, now make it a second, heading into turn 1 for Jordan Tansel over Chris Gilbert. Gilbert running that second spot in his number 45. He's got Nicholas Snyder behind him, but again, these cars are fairly happy right now, just kind of being a little bit separate from each other, getting some laps in, keeping it clean here tonight at ISM.
It seems like everything is working in the driver's favor so far, Chris. Right now, it is 78 degrees. That track temperature has actually cooled down a little bit, down to 85 degrees.
And you see right there, Jordan Tansel drops down below the yellow line in that open dog leg. Now rounds out through turn number 4. Going to take it right to the front stretch, and we're going to drop down into the cockpit. We want to take a lap around the track here with Jordan Tansel. We see right here down close to that yellow line, lets it float up towards the wall. He's going to take that dog leg. May have started turning in just a little early there. Nice throttle control coming out of turn number 4. And that was a lap from our race leader, Jordan Tansel. And don't look, yeah, but we might have a battle for second place here coming up in the very near future, as Nick Snyder is right on the back bumper of the 45. Chris Gilbert. Gilbert has a mirror full of the number 9 car on your screen, the 7 on the time and scoring. Nick Snyder is there, Rick, and I don't know if he's gonna try and push the issue, but oh yeah, he is. He's dropped right down to the inside. He's getting ready to set him up for turn 1, and Chris Gilbert gonna fall a spot. Gilbert, one of those drivers looking for a championship, can ill afford to go back, but that's exactly what he's gonna do. Gilbert now being chased down by Lane in the number 10 car on the scoring and timing sheets, the number 8 out there on track.
And the Aftershocks number 8 now. Lane is another one of those drivers, as you can see on the scoring, going for this championship here tonight. So the 45 got to be very, very careful. I mean, you know, Snyder is a very fast driver, Chris. We saw that on Tuesday. And definitely the Bass Pro Shops Black Rifle copy number 9 starting to come into play here a little bit, trying to catch up to Tansel. We'll see if he's able to do it. Now, Chris, one thing that we haven't talked about is turn 4. You did mention it there as we were in the cockpit there with the 36, but you got to be very careful with that throttle control there, because that is the one corner that if you get on too early, you will spin out.
Yeah, very easy to lose control of the rear end of this car. It's a very flat corner, and like I said, Rick, it's not unheard of for drivers to kind of get into the throttle a little bit sooner, especially when, you know, when the tires are worn just a little bit. So something to watch out for as those tires do wear, and, you know, more importantly, the fuel cells start to get a little bit lighter.
Yeah, those fuel cells get light, Chris. The rear end of those cars get light also, and you know, obviously more weight in the back there holds those tires down and helps with traction a little bit. But once that thing gets light, these things very easy to slide around. But right now, driver's doing a fabulous job. We have 18 laps already in the book out of 100. Now, we already talked about this. At lap 35, we will be having a stage caution come out, give these guys a little bit of a break to get re-ammunited, get everything all set up, get a drink, rehydrated, and get back out there. So that's coming quick, man. These laps starting to tick down quite a bit. We're on lap 19 of 100.
Well, it took 17 laps for Jordan Tansel to do it, but he was able to finally catch and pass another driver to put him a lap down. We're talking of the number 8 of Dawson Waddington. Waddington is now 1 lap down in 11th spot, but still getting around, still clean, and we know we're going to have a caution, so should be eligible for the lucky dog should he be the first driver at 1 lap down when we get there in about 15 laps. So Tansel laying down some pretty quick times here, and he is the race leader. He's opened up himself a 2-second gap over Snyder, and just oh boy, Snyder really closed in. That's why caution on the track. Oh, let's go back and take a peek and see what happened. We're watching the 304 to the inside. Oh, the 54 gets in the wall, and the 304 was not expecting that. So RJ Justice touches the wall. The 304 gets into him. They continue on. We'll watch it one more time. Let's see what happens with the 54. He does get into the wall. It looks like he just kind of misjudged the corner. Maybe had a little bit of a push out there. Rick, we were just talking about how flat that corner is, and that could have been the cause.
Yeah, really turn 4 is where most of the accidents on this racetrack happen, Chris. And because, you know, like you said, very flat, you're coming off the corner, you want to get back on the throttle, you feel that you can, but if you do it too hard, you get pushed up into that outside wall, or you just spin.
And that's exactly what happened. Here we are, first caution of the night. The Chevy Silverado leads them away one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to step away for just a moment. We're going to take a break ourselves. We will be right back.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show under the world of outlaw.
Back live here at ISM as we're serving out our first caution of the evening. Caution light still on the pace truck. Now, we do have something a little different for our back pocket. I don't know. Maybe we should try and use it up. Rick, what do you think? We've got Eric up there. I'll get a word with him just to kind of see how the car is feeling, how the track is feeling out there.
Yeah, let me bring him down for you.
Hey, Eric, it's Chris and Rick up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Doing well, bud. So right now you're sitting in the 9th spot, down 2 spots from the beginning of this race. What's going on out there? How is the car feeling? Number one. And number two, what's it going to take for you to get up there and maybe challenge for the lead a little bit?
Car so far is pretty tight out here. Just gotta take care of those tires. I kind of wanted to stop there, just get a feel for how my tire wear was looking, see how hard I was driving, and looked pretty good. To figure out put some new tires on here at the end of the stage and see what we can do, and try to get back up there.
So one other question I had here tonight, Eric, is the fuel cell a full fuel cell after you get all the gas in it that you can, or is it a half a fuel cell?
We run 70% fuel, so should be good to go on fuel to the end of the stage here, and then the second stage you might have to stop for fuel. We'll have to see.
All right, bud. Well, we're going back under the green flag. We appreciate you stopping in. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Eric Shearer, driver of the number 22. As we go back under the green flag here, for just the second time here tonight, Rick. And so 70% fuel. And like you said, it should be good for the second half of the race here after, well, 10 laps from now.
Yeah, 10 laps from now, we will have that stage caution come out, Chris. And, as Eric said, from, lap, we'll probably go back. Ooh, the 304, hard on the brakes. Oh, Eric Shearer had to go down a little bit there. Sorry about that. I was watching that and getting a little excited. But, they might have to do a green flag pit stop there towards the end, before the end of the race. But 70% fuel, that's pretty good. I mean, that's putting a lot of weight into the rear end of those cars, Chris. And it looks like we have a new race leader, the 7 of Snyder, or actually the 9
Well, the 9 on the screen, the 7 on the scoring and timing. But yeah, you're right. He is taking it over. Now it's up to Jordan Tansel. Can he get back there? And it looks like he is trying. He's set up for turn 1 pretty well. He's going to dive it down in there. And the 36 looking to try and take it away from Nick Snyder. Snyder not able to hold on to it on the outside. Jordan Tansel going to hold it to the inside. They both go under the yellow line and get ready for the next corner. Good battle up there, up front. And Packard, unfortunately, at one point, Rick, it was 4 red outline names kind of in a row. Now Packard has kind of slipped back just a little bit, back to that 8th position. Gilbert slips back 1 to Peplinski. So Peplinski in the 14, looking good out there in his Old Spice Office Depot machine. Jordan Tansel has taken that lead back, as we knew he would by the line he was taking. And he's got a mirror full of Nicholas Snyder. Snyder trying to catch him, and now it's a question of can he do it. It's one thing to take the lead, Rick, on the green. You got to hold on to it.
Yeah, you really do, and that was the thing that Tansel was very smart with, Chris. He protected that inside lane, and that's really where you want to be on this track now. As we watch him going around here, you know, he does go up towards the wall at the beginning of the corner, and then he dives down next to that yellow line. It's gonna be nice and easy off the throttle here, get up towards that wall again. I mean, if you can protect that lane, you use that whole track, and that's exactly what you want to do. So I don't think he was too worried about Snyder at all, but Snyder sitting there in 2nd position with Brad Lane right behind him. And Lane actually getting a little pressure from the 14 now as they go through the dog leg there. The 14 actually might, well, they're even. Peplinski takes over 3rd.
Yeah, Peplinski about halfway through that corner, found some extra speed. Now onto the front stretch, and he has taken over that 3rd spot. The 14 may not be done yet. He's looking down to the inside, going through turn number 1.
And he's got pressure on Snyder, and right now Peplinski has that preferred lane, Chris. I mean, we talk about it so much. That's one thing that I love about Phoenix. I mean, it's different than all the other tracks around, because especially if they have the open dog leg, because drivers can get down below that yellow line. You can actually pick up a lot of momentum down there. And once you get a car clear, then that whole track is yours to do whatever you wish.
Oh, we got action happening from the 3rd spot on back. Oh, that was quick. Nicholas Snyder heading towards the wall, and he got clobbered.
And I'm a little worried about the 45 Mobile 1 machine, Chris. I see some smoke happening there, and as we know, Gilbert is one of those drivers trying to win a championship here tonight, but it is not looking good for the Mobile 1 Camaro.
Well, we've got the production crew saying you've got what you need. Go ahead and hit the button, so we're going to. And go back and take a look. This one started with the 9 on your screen. He just looks like he almost lost it, had to check up, and boy, oh boy, it wasn't good from there. Let's go back, take a different angle at this one. And the fact that he comes back out on track like that, 2 other cars getting involved. And Rick, you are absolutely right. Somebody is letting the smoke out of the 45 machine. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but race cars, they run on smoke. Once you let it out, there's no putting it back in.
I mean, this could be a devastating thing here for the 45.
Yeah, you're looking at a half an hour repair right there at about 30 seconds a lap. Yeah, that's going to be the race for him, unfortunately. Well, new race leader out there, Peplinski. He stays out in his number 14, as does Eric Shearer in the 22. So 1 and 2 have switched into different hands here. Jordan Tansel came down pit road for some service.
And that answered one of the questions that I was just going to ask Chris, and maybe bring Eric down here to see if these guys have at least a fast repair. The 45 has the hood back on that thing. He's got it back out on track. So maybe not the end of the night here for the 45 of Gilbert.
Well, he's incredibly lucky then, because that car was destroyed. So Chris Gilbert going to have a second chance at life here. And it looks like he is going to be in the 5th position inside row number 3 on this next restart.
I want to take a minute to thank everybody out there in the Turn 3 Racing Network land. Bradley, we see you, buddy. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Of course, this is Rick and my good friend Chris here in the booth with Turn 3. Watching these guys have a little bit of fun in the desert here tonight.
A little over a third of the way done here at ISM. Again, we're watching the guys under NASCAR rules for sim racing championship night for the B car. As the Chevy Silverado pulls down pit road, we're getting ready to go back under the green flag. New race leader Ryan Peplinski, Eric Shearer to his outside. Well, lap 35 was supposed to be the stage ender. We're working lap number 36. On lap number 35, it was already a caution. So I'm assuming we're going the rest of the way. And
Yeah,
Jordan Tensel wasting no time, Rick. He's back to the lead. No problem at all for Tensel as he works it right back up there. Now Ryan Peplinski and Brad Lane down to the inside. Here comes the 45 of Gilbert. We just saw him blow his hood off. He's back out there in the 45.
Yes, right now 3 championship contenders in the 1, 2, 3 spot, Chris. And good to see Gilbert back out there. I was a little worried about that. I forgot that I had my button muted. So I was trying to call a race, and it was good for Peplinski too. He was out there, but man, did Tansel come very quick.
Eric Shearer, who started on the outside of the front row last time by, is back down to 6th spot. So having trouble finding a little speed is the 22. We'll keep an eye out for him as he kind of continues on. Did mention that the car seemed kind of tight, and we've certainly seen that a little bit out there as the car seems to snap every once in a while. That's a snap loose condition because it's tight in the corner. You try and correct it, and it kind of snaps loose on you. Got to be careful for that. It can happen in the blink of an eye. Jordan Tensel, your race leader, with Bradley and Chris Gilbert following suit. 1, 2, and 3, all vying for a championship here tonight. Reggie Packard is in the 5th spot, so he's slowly trying to make his way up. He's getting ready to go around Peplinski. He does.
Yeah, he was right on the back bumper there of the 14 of Peplinski. Oh, we're under caution. It might have been Shear.
Caution flag waving once again. This time it is for the number 22 of Eric Shearer. We'll go back and take a peek, see what happened. He's got the 304 right behind him. That's Sean Taylor and Eric Shearer kind of battling it out for the same space on the racetrack, Rick. And that never, ever works. And usually the guy on the outside goes for a ride. And that's exactly what happened here to Eric Shearer. You watch him set up for the corner. He starts bringing it down. And honestly, he kind of drove down into the 304 of Sean Taylor. So the 22 finds himself up against the catch fence and able to drive away. May have some damage there. We'll have to check in on that in just a little bit.
What I like to see right now, Chris, all 4 contenders for the championship are in the first 4 spots here of this field.
Of course, you're looking at the 36 of Jordan Tensel. Brad Lane. That's number 10 on your scoring timing sheets, but the number 8 out there on track. We've got the 45 of Chris Gilbert and the 29 of Reggie Packard. Those 4 drivers battling it out here for the championship. You've got 59 laps to go so far. Excuse me. That's some hella good math right there. We're just gonna forget the math here tonight. I don't want to do math anymore. I'm tired.
58, my friend.
Yeah. 58-ish. Let's be honest.
Ish, yes.
Because they will drive underneath the white flag on lap 100, and really they take the checkered at 101. But it's just a little thing that iRacing does. Keeps everybody on their toes. And take a look at the virtual weather here from Virtual ISM. Air temperature 78, nice and cozy if you're out there in the stands. And it's a good thing because they are patenting going on in those stands. Track temperature pretty steady at 83 degrees right now under partly cloudy skies. The wind out of the east at 2 miles an hour. I don't know.